Good Monday morning, YouTube. At about 5 a.m. Just had some morning coffee and I got down here at like 4:10, somewhere in there. Super early morning. Basically, goal this week, let's get some items listed. Let's get some stuff going. This is new stuff, exciting stuff. Woo woo woo. I'll may have this camcorder listed here, or I should say pictured, that's what I meant to say. And after that, I'll get into this stuff. Before that, I have to do a quick detail job on this camera here. If you recognize it here, it's actually Dealers from the Crazy Pick Your Life. And that thing is very, very sandy slash, it's not really sand, it's dust is what it is. So that shouldn't be that bad. Let's try and detail that quickly. Probably use some Q-tips. Probably use clean cloth, but probably an air blower would be pretty useful too. So I'll try a couple different things, get it all cleaned up, and there you go. I should probably do this with my own camera actually. This thing is looking pretty good though. Clean the screen, clean the lens, got a bunch of dust out of all the spots there. Nice and clean, back and working again. I think I powered it on before, but it had a bit of a dust noise with the lens coming out there. Fixed by a little bit of minor cleaning. That camera is back in action. Let's get back to Dealer. Thing goes on there. There you go. It's the super camera.
Wow, looks like brand new.
That's what I'm saying.
Sheesh.
Okay, so got that thing listed. Need to tote that up. Actually, Dealer brought me a big tote of large bagged items. I need to reduce down to smaller bags, which would be those there. These big gangly bags are kind of a pain to look through. And of course, since we have the smaller ones now, it makes more sense to put them in those. Let's get those rebagged, renumbered. Just doing that right now. Well, I'm pretty sure I actually ran out of normal size Ziplocs the day I did this, but look at that. That big bag down to this little tiny one here. And that's quite a size reduction there. That will definitely make our storage a little bit denser and easier to handle. Instead of all those big crazy bags, we have these little tiny ones. And there you go, large pile of large bags reduced down into one tote. This was actually 3, now it's 1. Also did those over there. Looking good. That's what we gotta start doing here to reduce the inventory bulk as we're moving to a smaller space. So I definitely say right up front that there's not a lot of money in vintage manual focus lens teleconverters such as these. These really average in price, anywhere between $10 and $20 depending on which one they are. With some good cleaning, good pictures and all that, I think we average around 15, maybe a little bit more on those. They are very quick lists however, and we're running low because we haven't listed any in a long time. So actually going to get all this listed up. On the other hand, there is some desirability for autofocus teleconverters. This is actually a Canon one here. If you can find some of the more modern or higher end ones, obviously Canon branded. See, that's the exception to the rule though, mainly, is that main brand names, Nikon, Canon, Konica, like the actual branded ones, like this one right here is probably a good one. I'll let you know when I look that up. You see that says Nikon teleconverter TC201, so it's a Nikon branded teleconverter. If I had to guess, I'm saying that's $40 or $50 right there. This one with autofocus contacts is probably at least 50, if not 100. And actually I'm going to check to see if I want to use that with my camera. Probably not, but either way. And we have another autofocus teleconverter for Nikon. So there's some money in those to be had. Obviously there's a couple different specialty ones there. But for the most part, like this here especially, one like this where it is a 70 to 150 matched multiplier, very undesirable. We do sell them pretty often, but they don't sell for a lot, and some of them will take a while to sell depending on how you do it. So anyway, let's just blast through these here, get them all tested up, cleaned up. Very basic cleaning, just like a lens. Clean the front element, clean the rear element. This one's all cleaned up. Get some pictures and list them up. Okay, so unrelated note here, I always like to try interesting things. There's that teleconverter I was thinking I might purchase, and there's that one crazy lens that I have. This goes to 600 millimeters. So I found on this APS-C size camera body, and as you can see, that shot 1/15 of a second, 6.3. The image stabilization in this thing here, this is next level image stabilization. Most traditional photographers would say you need a shutter speed of 1/1900th of a second, according to the shutter speed, or according to the general rule of thumb for focal length to shutter speed conversions. Look at that 1/15th of a second. First try. If I actually tried a couple more tries, I could probably even get sharper. Look at that, though. That is unbelievable. It is literally unbelievable. Handheld, 1,920 millimeter focal length there. 1/15th of a second. It looked like it was wobbling all over the place in the frame. Clicked it. It was like click, click. Just anybody who's a photographer, they see that and that's just insane. The image stabilization in that has to be 6 stops or something similar to that. Unbelievable. Glad to have this lens. That's just crazy. So if this lens is advertised 4.5 stops image stabilization, that is approximately 4.5. There you go, and 1/400th of a second. If I had to guess, it seems better than that even. It's just insanity how sharp that image was there. Out of camera, 1/15th of a second, handheld, just crazy. So there's a quick thing here, specifically on Pentax mount lenses, is there is a difference between an autofocus and a non-autofocus teleconverter. As you can see, this one has contacts, so you might actually assume that it is autofocus. I definitely did the first few times when I was first learning this stuff. But what distinguishes an autofocus from a non-autofocus is the screw, the autofocus screw. I actually show you here on a different one, since I don't have another Pentax at handy that has the screw. But the Pentax is very similar to this one here. As you can see, it has a rotating screw, which is a pass-through for the focus. This is actually a Nikon. Uses a very similar thing, but you'd see something like that on the back, and on the front you'd have something like that. As you can see, this has neither of those, and is therefore actually just aperture and exposure data, not autofocus, so you have to be careful with that. This though, I actually think I might be surprised at how much these are worth. I know we sold a Pentax one a while back. I looked it up and I was like, whoa, those are worth 70 bucks? So I don't know, certain ones are pretty desirable. This one may be one of those. I'll have to look it up and see. Unfortunately, this one does not have the electronic connections, even for the aperture, but I have a feeling that odd number teleconverters like this one here, Kiron, which is actually the higher end version of Vivitar for a while there, this says 1.5 times, which is an odd number. I see a lot of 2 and 3 times teleconverters. 1.5, I have a feeling, is pretty good. Probably pretty self-explanatory, but here is a tutorial, a quick tutorial on how to tell if a teleconverter is actually new or not. I'll show you the box here in just a minute. This one came out of, but as you can see, there are some slight scratches on the mount. So I'm going to say that one is not new. Came in the box, came in the original case. Looks pretty nice, but I'm going to say that one's not new. There is one here, this one, which actually is not in the box, strangely enough. But that one is actually in the original bag, and the bag is twisted as it would have been from the factory, which could have been redone. But I open it up and that one looks, there's no mount scratches or anything. That one is new as opposed to used like this other one. There are going to be some really good little gems and all this new stuff here, so stay tuned for all this. Going to go through all the testing, going to go through this stuff every day. You will be able to find some interesting little things. You're going to see some interesting things. This is actually a Olympus OM System Very Magni Finder. Basically a right angle finder in the original case. That has got to be a rare find. We haven't sold one of these in several years, and if I had to look it up and guess, I'm going to say $50 to $100 on that piece. Maybe even more. I'm going to guess right around that range though. Pretty cool. Okay, so there you go. Done cleaning and testing a good chunk out of the stuff here. Let's get those pictured up and listed. Probably going to do them in, I don't know, batches of 5 or so. Not going to go for the one each, but I got to start getting these up and listed. Okay, so still working on refining my photos on teleconverters here. These turned out fair. A couple of them were a bit out of focus, which is not the end of the world on these kind of things. Definitely need to work on that in the future though. The 1/100th speed and a couple other things there. I'm shooting at f4.5 on these just to try it out a little bit more. There you go. Let's get those up and listed. Okay, so this is over 150 meters into my 5th lap here. We're doing a waterfall run today. Basically, you go from lane 8, circle around, down to 7, down to 6, down to 5, down to 4. Ran my first 4 as a warm-up. This last mile here, a little bit quicker. Okay, so right on my, I guess, 10th lap. Thought I was on 11th, but wasn't counting right anyway. But done with the workout for today. Last 4, I ran fairly fast, but the last 2 I ran about 3 minute half mile pace, 6 minute mile pace. See what I could, slow workout today. Getting ready for the race on Saturday. Definitely should train a little bit more.
Come on, Dad! Come on, Dad! Come on, stop!
And there you go. Photo finish, who won? Man. Okay, so nice early run this morning there. Got that out of the way. First run in a couple weeks, I think. Mainly because I had a couple leg injuries and whatever. Race is on Saturday though, so I decided to get a couple in before that. Took it real easy today. Slow to start out, and I sped up a little bit. But I mean, it was pretty slow all in all. BP beat me, which of course I wasn't trying to beat him or anything. So anyway, back in the office for a couple hours. Actually, more like a few hours. Let's get a bunch of listings done. Also going in for an eye appointment at 2:15. Going to get some new glasses after 6 or 7 years. That'll be great. So, busy day today. Let's keep going. Okay, so here are some photos of the second batch of teleconverters. There's one more Canon one there, and then just a bunch of Nikon ones. Still experimenting with the stands and lighting and all that. but I think they turned out fairly well. Let's get those up and listed once we get back from lunch. Sitting right here at 9 items listed. Okay, and actually I forgot about this because we're heading off to the optometrist. I can get myself a prescription and possibly some new glasses. I'm pretty sure I'm going to order online though. Just need to get the eye test here. Okay, so first stage done here. I guess we're gonna do a few more tests with this big crazy machine there, but I guess they got some eye pictures and all that. Just waiting for the next doctor. Whew, man, walked me through the whole spiel there. Got my frames, got my lenses, 7 to 10 business days, and I guess I got it. But man, they really got you through the ringer with the salespeople there. I was enjoying working with salespeople. It's kind of fun, but anyway, yep. Out of there, got my eyes examined, got the figured out lenses and frames and all that. I gotta eat some lunch here and get some listing done. I guess we're back in the office for a little while. Busy Monday today. Let's aim for around 25 listings by the time dealer gets back. These are all pictured, ready to go. Let's just knock those out. 4 minutes of listing, then I'll move on to these. Basically just that, get a rhythm, get going. All stuff I've dealt with before, fairly easy to get listed and all that. Of course it's fun stuff, it's new stuff. I always enjoy working with stuff that I haven't seen before, hasn't been recycled 100 times. All that kind of thing, so that should be fun. Okay, back in the office after supper there, went to UPS and did a couple other quick things. Had to go back home to get the pizza, and then I had to go back home to get my camera, and now we're set. Okay, so switching my battery here quick. This oddball Konica accessory here. I love things like this that you really can't figure out exactly what they fit or what they are. Going off the markings that are on there, Konica Series 6. I actually thought this might fit a Sony Omega rapid camera, which I really do like those cameras. They're pretty crazy medium format. After a bit of research, it took a bit of research to figure out what this fit exactly, just doing keywords and Google image searches and all that kind of stuff. This actually fits a Sony Omega Flex Rapid. Never even heard of that camera before. Let me show you some pictures here. This camera is practically a Sony Omega, like I thought it might fit, but this is the Flex model, meaning it has 2 lenses, kind of like a Rolleiflex with air-changeable lenses and all kinds of crazy stuff there. That is a camera I've never seen before, which is really odd for me. There is our finder right there, as you can see, and if you look at these cameras on eBay, this is the top result right there. As you can see, $3,500 for a fairly complete kit. Here's another one with a bunch of watchers, $4,800. Here's one for $2,000 with just the camera. And there's the only finder listed right now. Actually, I guess they reduced it down to $130, but this is a single, straight finder, not the curved one, listed at $130, starting bid at auction. Listed up at $130 with some good photos, explanation of what it fits. That is a really good find right there. As you can see in the sold section, there's one that sold for $500 at auction. Here's a lens that sold for $480. Stuff is in demand, that will sell. Really do like finding little scores like this. That's what keeps us in the game for sure. I'll definitely go through a couple of these auctions later, but here are some good listings too. I listed up a Nikon teleconverter here for right at $90. Couple of autofocus things there. Most, if not all, these teleconverters that are not branded though are in the $15 to $20 range, as I was mentioning before. But there are going to be some little gems in here. So have yet to look up this 1.5 times Lentar, which I think will be kind of interesting for Exacta. Of course, you have the 2 times 1 there too. Both mint in box. On to the next batch of photos and listings. All those are done. Okay, so this lot of little teleconverters and other miscellaneous things is ready to go. Got some pizza here. Time to get this stuff up and listed. Just edited these photos. Turning out pretty good. Using that stand quite a bit more than I was before. Just to give it that little bit extra look. A couple more here. let's get them listed. Okay, well now a lot more vlogging tonight. As you can see, there are the items that I finished listing. I actually listed one and it sold right away, so that sold pretty quick. Other ones here are still up, got a good number listed. Let's go finish that up, put it on the board, and then I'll end the vlog for tonight. There's dealer's number that's up there already. Let's add mine to that. And there you go. Good long day there. Total of 42 items, $1,685. Definitely not my most efficient listing day ever, but it's a long day, good day. Back tomorrow again for some more listing, more new stuff. Should get a new tone in the office there. I think I only have another 10 miscellaneous items. Anyway, thanks for watching the vlog today. Like, comment, subscribe if you have not already. Stay tuned for another vlog tomorrow. No out. Goodbye.